Hey everybody, welcome back to Hot Toys Hotline. If you're a current subscriber or an active viewer of the live streams, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're currently sitting at 60 subscribers, and that's just amazing to me. You guys are so supportive, so I really do appreciate it. If you're new here and you enjoy what I do, please consider subscribing. I currently have a goal of 100 subscribers, and I think it's very attainable, and we're right around the corner, so definitely please consider doing so if you appreciate the content that we put out here on Hot Toys Hotline. But without further ado, I do want to introduce a new series on this channel. You guys have probably seen something similar on other channels, but I kind of want to give my take on it. I'm calling this series Cop or Flop. And basically what Cop or Flop is, whenever a new Hot Toys release comes out, I kind of want to give my take on it, if I think it's worth your money, if it's a cop, or if I think it's a total flop and you should use your money elsewhere. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Today we're going to be talking about not only Cad Bane from the Book of Boba Fett, but the Boba Fett release that we got alongside him. But guys, Cad Bane is a very, very, very special and exciting release for a lot of us. I know me personally, when I saw that tease last week, I was jumping out of my chair because Cad Bane is a figure that we have been wanting for so long. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars especially, this is a figure that a lot of us have been begging for, and I'm glad to see that he's finally here. Not only that, you'll see when we check him out in a minute here, there's a surprise that Hot Toys included for us Clone Wars fans. But I want to start with the regular edition first because I feel like it's easier to gauge what you're going to get if you start with the standard and then move up to the deluxe. But let's go through the photos here, guys. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a lack of a lot of pleather, which I love to see, and we all love to see because we know how the Hot Toys pleather is. For me, it's looking like the pleather is in the holsters here and in the belt, and that's about it. Believe it or not, guys, this coat material and the hat as well, they seem to be similar to the Nightmare Batman 2.0 or the Alden Ehrenreich Han Solo jacket. So that's amazing to see. I love to see now that Hot Toys is listening to us and they're trying to give us materials that will stand the test of time better than these pleather materials. So that's awesome to see. You can see here he's got his signature blasters and a nice little pose here. The coat is obviously very nicely wired on the inside to hold a pose like that. So that is also awesome to see. We've seen it a lot of times where Hot Toys forgets or omits the wiring, and we're a little disappointed that, especially when they do it with a cape. But here, I'm glad to see that they included that. Again, great shot here of the Duster posed with the wiring. It looks amazing. Of course, you can't have a bounty hunter without the flame effect, and we did get that here with the Cad Bane figure, which is amazing. Definitely glad to see that. Again, another awesome shot here. Great stance. I mean, you know, if you can put a figure in a museum pose and he looks this good, you got a winner on your hands. So this is awesome, man. You could already see, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but this figure does have swap out faceplates. You can already see one of them here that's different from the previous pictures we've looked at. This is a great shot here. I think the posability will be pretty nice. I am a little bit disappointed that we don't have split cut boots here because these are sculpted, which is a big plus, but I wish they were split cut, but I'm not super upset about it because I feel like you could still pull off some great poses, so not really upset about that personally. Yep, here's a shot without the hat on. I know a lot of us were hoping that this hat was removable, and Hot Toys did deliver on that. You could see that metal plate in his head, excuse me. Really glad to see that included, and it looks awesome. I don't believe it was mentioned in the description, but I was hoping that the hat would be magnetic just so you know it's going to stay on there. I don't feel like the hat is super big like the Asmus Gandalf to where it's going to flop off. I feel like it'll stay in place pretty well, but I guess that remains to be seen. But these hands here are really neat. I love how the hands are sculpted to kind of look like he's using the board on his gauntlet. I know in the Clone Wars he used that to call Toto and stuff and control, so that's really cool. I like to see that that's included. Here's a shot of him standing next to the new Boba Fett figure, which we're going to talk about after him. I think he looks great, man. I think the proportions are awesome. I think they did a great job with this one. I know a lot of people were a little skeptical skeptical originally because it was a Book of Boba Fett release, but I think Hot Toys delivered on this one, and you're going to see why, especially when we look at the Deluxe. Here's an awesome shot of him fighting Boba. I mean, for me, that's how I'm going to have these two guys. I just think that's a very iconic scene in the show. I know a lot of people weren't fans in the show, but I think you can at least agree this was an amazing scene in that show, for most people at least. Love the gunslinger vibes that we get from Cad Bane here. Just an amazing figure, guys, and one that we've been waiting for so long, like I said, so it's just so exciting to see that he's finally here. Here's a shot of those interchangeable face plates that I brought up earlier. It's funny because when I first saw this figure and I saw that mouth, I was like, there's no way that they're not going to give us those faceplates. And I had mentioned it in chats and on Facebook that I thought they were going to do it this way. So I'm very happy to see that I was right about that because it gives the collector options. For me, even looking at it now, I'm not a fan of that open mouth with the teeth showing. I definitely like that kind of stern, angry face in the middle. I think that might be how I display them. But I'm not totally against this one on the right here where the teeth are partially showing because I still think it looks great. This one's just a little too much for me, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. That's just my personal opinion. Another great shot of him. Again, he looks very posable. This material that they use for the duster, it looks like it doesn't really inhibit the articulation much, which I'm glad to see. Obviously, we'll have to see him in hand to get a complete idea of the articulation, but just based on photos, I think he's going to pose very well. But guys, that's it for the regular edition. You can kind of get an idea of everything you get here. You get the blasters, you get the flamethrower effect, of course, the hands, all the clothing and everything, which is typical of a standard release. They don't omit clothing usually unless it's an additional add-on. But it's nice to see that the additional faceplates come with the standard. I'm glad that wasn't put behind the Deluxe paywall. But guys, with that being said, we're going to move on to the Deluxe because I think this is the one to buy. If you didn't see, and of course we're on Sideshow right now, buy from wherever you like to buy from, but we're on Sideshow just because I like their photo format. But guys, you can see it's a $20 difference, and you can already see right off the bat a huge, huge surprise. Again, if you're especially a fan of the Clone Wars, the fact that they went out of their way to do a fan service on a Book of Boba Fett figure and give us Toto is just an amazing idea from Hot Toys, and as fans, we really do appreciate it. But guys, like, Toto is an essential piece of Cad Bane, in my opinion. He's a little sucker. He's annoying. He always does what Cad tells him to do, but that makes him likable, in my opinion. If you like characters like that, he's very likable. So it's awesome to see him. He looks amazing. I think the paintwork is exceptional, as it always is from Hot Toys, and it looks like real metal. Absolutely does. But guys, you can also see here, which we didn't see in the Book of Boba Fett, but has been shown in the Clone Wars, we can see these jet boosters on his boots. Obviously, Cad Bane doesn't have a jetpack, so this is how he gets around. He has jet boosters on his boots. This is amazing, guys. And you can see here they actually... the official term is rocket thruster, so ignore my made-up terms that I like to do. But you can see here they actually mention that these two accessories are included from the Clone Wars series. So again, guys, that's just total fan service in my opinion. This figure, this is easily one of the more exciting announcements this year in my opinion. Just an absolutely incredible release. I am insanely excited to get this to the point where I've already pre-ordered them. I just couldn't wait. I'm normally not a fan of day one pre-ordering anymore because there's not only so many things coming out, but the delays and such. It's not smart to do, but for me, and because of my love for the character, I had to do it. But yeah, guys, I mean, the Deluxe is a no-brainer in my opinion. Again, Toto just looks incredible. I love the weathering around the eyes and such and around the belly area. He looks like he's actually pretty well articulated as well, so I'm excited for that. And he actually does have his own rocket thrusters on his feet, so that's amazing. But yeah, guys, that's about it for Cad Bane. Those are the additional accessories that you get with the Deluxe. But again, if it were me, for the $20 difference, absolutely, absolutely go for the Deluxe. You got to go for the Deluxe. For that extra $20, you get Toto and you get the rocket thrusters on the boots. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. And guys, if you can't tell already, this is an absolute cop. If you don't grab this, you're absolutely out of your mind, or you're just not a big Star Wars fan, which I get it. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, but again, this is just an incredible, incredible release, guys. This is a figure that everybody, again, has been begging for forever, including myself, and it's amazing, and it's almost surreal that he's here. Not only that he's here, but he came so quick after that initial teaser, because that doesn't always happen, as we know. Wink, wink, Mace Windu, where you at? But yeah, guys, absolute cop. Let me know in the comments what you think of this figure. Is this a cop or a flop? Again, for me, absolute cop. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. I know it's not going to be for everybody, as are all figures. Everybody's fans of their own shows and movies and such. So I definitely understand. But I want to jump back now to the Boba Fett. I know this one is a little bit underwhelming for a lot of people, just because there's so many Boba Fett figures on pre-order currently. So I know it's a little bit underwhelming, but for me, I'm happy to have it because this is, again, a good counterpart for the Cad Bane if you're going for a Book of Boba Fett display. Obviously, because of that amazing scene towards the end of the show where we saw them facing off. And Boba Fett, spoiler, Boba Fett ended up killing Cad Bane. We don't know if he's dead, but regardless, these two shared that amazing scene together. So it's awesome to see this one drop. The $275 price point, I know a lot of people are saying it's kind of high. I do understand, but I did expect this price point. We know the prices are going up. Unfortunately, it's affecting all figures, not only just Hot Toys, but all 6-scale figures. 3.75 doesn't matter. With that being said, I don't think 275 is too terrible. I would have liked to see 265, but that's kind of a thing of the past. But I want to pull them up here. I know a lot of people are going to immediately compare this and the Boba Fett with the throne, which is understandable. But however, there are some differences. I just want to tell you right off the bat, I know the belt is different, the pants are different, and the boots are different. Also, we do have some amazing weathering here on the armor that you don't have on the re-armored version. So that's nice to see, some nice differences between them. It also looks like Boba slimmed down a little bit between the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe he's been hitting the gym, who knows. But he definitely slimmed down a little bit. But guys, I absolutely love the gaffy stick sticking out here in the back. I think that's an amazing look, and I will definitely have him displayed with that either in his hands or on his back because it just looks great as an overall look. But guys, I dig this look. I gotta be honest with you. I hear you guys who are saying, like, we don't need this. We've got all these other Boba Fetts that are currently on pre-order. Like, trust me, I get it. I get it. But with that being said, I also understand why Hot Toys released this. If they're selling, why would they not? And also, obviously, they have some obligations with Disney and such that we don't know about. So it could be partially that as well. But regardless, I am super excited for this. You guys probably know, if you're a fan of the live streams, that I'm a Boba Fett fanatic, and I have a ton of Boba Fetts in my collection. So I'll take all the Boba Fetts. Just like we'll take all the clones, I'll take all the Boba Fett. So really amazing figure, in my opinion. Again, I do understand the price point being $275, throwing some people off. I think the biggest miss for this figure is no head sculpt, guys. We actually did not get a head sculpt with this one, which is very unfortunate. We did see the head sculpt with the quarter scale version of this Boba Fett, so I don't understand why we didn't get that head sculpt. Maybe they were rushing out this release. I don't know, but very unfortunate we didn't get the head sculpt. Me personally, I am also getting the Boba with the throne. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the head sculpt from the Boba with the throne and throw it on this one, and I'm just going to have Boba on the throne with the helmet, because I feel like that's a more iconic look that we've seen already with him sitting on the throne. So I'm going to have my Boba with the throne without the head sculpt, and I'm just going to throw it on this one. So that's solving the problem for me. If you guys are getting both of these releases, you can obviously do the same thing, because I think it's a good idea. But I do see, if you don't have many Boba Fetts or any Boba Fetts at all in your collection and you're considering this one, the fact that it doesn't have a head sculpt is a big miss for me. Great shot here of him with the gaffy stick. We obviously know that came into play with the fight with Cad Bane, so definitely a must-have accessory. I know a lot of us are hoping that they somehow come out with a Rancor. I don't know about that, guys. It's going to be massive if they do. I think someone did the math, and it was a little bit over 30 inches, so that's like one of the biggest pieces Hot Toys has ever done if they were to do it. So it's hard to say if we're going to get that or not, unfortunately. But with that being said, if we do, I'm game. I don't care if it's like a power pose style figure or if it's posable or not posable at all. I'm game for it. But this figure is really nice, guys. Again, despite the head sculpt not being included, I still think you can get a lot out of this figure, and I think you can make some awesome displays with this guy. I could see why it would be a flop for a lot of people, again, because we've gotten plenty of options for Boba Fett. A lot of people who weren't a fan of this show, they're probably cool with their Return of the Jedi, Endor, Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett that came out not long ago. So I completely understand if this is a flop for you guys. But I will say this is still a cop for me. Is it as solid of a cop as Cad Bane? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't think a lot of people would say that it is. Because Cad Bane is just an amazing, incredible release, and it's one that we've been waiting for again for so long. But with that being said, this is still a cop for me, not only because I collect everything Boba Fett, but because I would like it to go with my Cad Bane. I'm kind of on the fence if I'm going to grab another Cad Bane and kind of have a Cad Bane with this Boba Fett, and a Cad Bane with maybe General Kenobi if we ever get him, so I can recreate that scene from the Clone Wars. Who knows if we're ever going to get that figure, but that's for another time. Maybe we'll talk about that on a stream or something. But yeah, guys, sorry if this was a little too long. I won't typically do the copper flop videos with two at one time, but because it's our first video in this series, and because they came at the same time, I said, why not? Let's do both of them at the same time, and then I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on these figures. That is really my goal with this series, is not only you guys listen to me ramble and stumble on my words for 15, 20 minutes, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts, and I want to engage with you guys. So please let me know in the comments what you think of these figures, and let me know if it's a cop or a flop. But that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As I continue to film these, I hope to improve my format a little bit. This was kind of an impromptu thing where I'm like, you know what, now's a good time to start this series, so this is what you're getting. Very minimal editing, of course. But yeah, that's it, guys. Again, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. I would really, really appreciate that. It helps me out. It helps me know that you guys really appreciate what we do. So, but yeah, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you on the live stream on Thursday.